Hello everyone, welcome to Technodrome. So we are here today to show you the boxing, rather than unboxing of the DJI INSPIRE 1 V2 drone. So I call it boxing because what I want to do is to show you the different components that come with the product, with the kit that you buy, and then put them in the box, okay, and giving you some suggestions and understanding what the box contains and what it doesn't contain. Okay, so let's start with the first thing, that is the box itself. So the box, first comment, is big. It's bigger respect to what you are used to with Phantom 3, because the drone is bigger and the set of accessories occupy more space. So it's less portable than the Phantom 3 one. Is not cabin size, so you may want to stay updated and search in internet if there is any other case which is cabin size. I haven't seen one, to be honest, so far, because the drone in travel mode doesn't fit in a cabin size bag. I don't know if it fits into in landing mode. There are cases that allow you to transport the drone in landing mode. But in any case, I suggest probably if you travel a lot, you may want to use a case that is different from this. So the outside is hardened plastic. It's quite okay, I would say. Let's say water resistant. Also the zip looks water resistant. The zip is not fantastic. It's not smooth. Neither too close, neither too open. But after a number of times, it gets a bit better. It gives you the feeling that could break, but so far so good. Let's say the inside is the material is not foam like this, okay, but is more still plasticky, and even if it's protective, the feeling is that after putting and removing the drone and the accessories a number of times, it may get a bit broken, or it can lose shape. It can start to have some problems. There are also straps to hold the propellers and the power supply. Also the straps, if I have to say, are not fantastic. So they are glued here, but this glue gives the impression to don't be so durable. But I mean, I want to give it the benefit of the doubt. Still, it's okay for me. I have already transported it a number of times. So after the box, first thing, very important for the drone, are the batteries. So if you buy the normal standalone INSPIRE 1 kit, you find one battery only, a TB47, which is a 4500 mAh battery, which is the smallest one. Well, in the kit that I bought was a deal, and I bought two of them, so another one, additional one. The case contains, I think, up to 5 batteries. There are, let's say, compartments to hold more than the battery that normally come when you buy the drone. So the suggestion is one battery is definitely not going to be enough, especially the small one that guarantees you, I would say, effective flight, probably 15 minutes. It depends how you want to get close to the battery end life before to land your drone back. At the moment, to be honest, especially because it's winter and it's cold, I never go ahead than 20% left, 15 when drone is very close by. But then, I mean, I don't push it. I don't push it too far. So, as I said, these are the two TB47. You can find more powerful ones, like the TB48, for example, which, if I'm not mistaken, is 5400 mAh, which gives you 20-ish minutes of flight. And these, as I said, have their own compartments. You can quickly fit them here. Record to charge them before to transport your drone, because to charge them requires time. I think it's more than an hour per battery, unless you buy the hub, the charging hub, and you then can charge more than one at a time. So another thing that is provided in the box are two micro USB cables. I don't know if it's this kit, but I don't think so. I think it's normal. So there are two micro USB cables. There is no there is no cable in case you have an Apple device. So these are good for Android device like a Samsung Galaxy or a Galaxy Tab. But if you have an Apple device, you may want the Apple Lightning connector. So I use an iPhone 6 Plus, and so I use my own cable. So this can easily fit into the box. There is plenty of space there. What else? So we spoke about the batteries. So we have also the power supply here. This is provided with a cable that can charge both battery, so the drone battery and the remote control, not at the same time. So it's important to notice that it's strictly recommended to charge them once at a time. I have to say, I've seen comment on the V1 drone, and people were saying that this power supply was eating up a lot. Honestly, I didn't experience that. It's getting warm, but of course it's not really burning. So I don't know if this is an improvement that they made with the new version, but this looks quite okay and operates quite okay. So it's reliable, and at the moment I've used it and I didn't experience any particular heat with it. So this is the cable to connect it to the network plug. Of course, being in the UK, I have also a UK adapter, but this is something that you can put into your package as well, and there is plenty of space for it. So the power supply goes into the box with a specific strap, and it's well placed into the box, as I said, well secured. So there is an additional cable here, which is can be very useful, especially if you are, let's say, outside and you don't have access to a power supply. Is a plug to charge the remote control plugged into the battery of the drone. So this is provided as well, and I think it's quite useful, and unless you have an inverter or something that you can plug into the car and charge remote controls or batteries. So this is useful, and we can as well put it in our case. Okay. Now let's move to one of the core components of the drone, which is the Z-Musix 3 camera, white color. I say this because recently DJI released DJI Osmo, which is an handle very nice. We will talk about this very soon in our videos, but that camera is slightly different from this one, and it's black. There is an ND filter coming together with the camera, useful when you are in sunny conditions at high altitude, because it makes your video more crisp. It removes that glare effect of the sun. It's nice. The camera is attached to his own gimbal. So as you can see, the gimbal is that mechanism that once attached to the drone allows the camera to be stable when the drone moves. So it's a 2-axis gimbal. It's very nice, and it's very well integrated into the structure. So there is a protection tab to protect the contacts, the electronic contacts that then are attached to the drone. So this is the Z-Musix 3 camera. It's well fitted in its inner, let's say, separate box. So you put the filter here, and then you can close the box. It's a bit tricky sometimes when to position the filter properly, but once you have found it, it's closed properly. And there is a substructure into the box in which you can fit the camera. At the beginning, it's a bit tricky because there's only one way which the camera fit, and you have to play Tetris a bit to fit it in. But once you have found it, it's fine and fits pretty well. It's pretty stable. So then you can put this back into your structure. So before to move into drone remote control, some other accessories. So it's a harness. It's in practice a strap, a belt that you can just wear, and it's very useful in case you have to fly for a long time, and maybe instead of a iPhone Plus, like in my case, you have a tablet which is heavier. So if you fly for a long time, it supports you while handling the remote control. So I didn't have the need to use it until now, but I think it can be useful in some circumstances. So it's something that we may want to bring with us as well, and it's provided in the package. Another thing which, well, is not major but is important is this small set of spare parts and tools. It's important to mention for one bad and one good reason. Let's start with the good reason. Good reason is that there are spare parts for the gimbal structure, the gimbal camera structure in the drone. These are like small gummy springs that absorb the vibrations and allow the camera to be more stable. There are 4 spare of them here, a full set, which can be useful because this material can become harder with time, can even break, and so it's useful to have some spare parts. Then the bed, there is this tool, is a screwer, flat screwer. To be honest, my suggestion, if you play with tools like these that are expensive and are precision tools, you may want to have your own set of screwers and I mean, or small tools to maintain and to work with it, and not rely on this. This is a bit more than a toy, to be honest. It doesn't look handy, doesn't look ergonomic at all. So my suggestion is you buy something separate because this is expensive hardware. Before we move to the drone, is this envelope, sorry, is a bit bended because it's a bit difficult to put into the case, but in practice it contains some safety instructions, a list of what is in the box, and the warranty. And I think that all in all, the most important thing to notice here is this. So this is a cover for the battery, and is useful and is suggested in case you fly at a temperature that is below 5 degrees Celsius. To be noticed is not the temperature that you have on the ground and when the drone is standing still, but is the temperature of the wind when you are at altitude. There are apps that allow you to check that wind temperature. So my suggestion is to have one of those apps installed. We will speak about this later on in other videos, but if the temperature and the wind temperature is below 5 degrees, to protect the battery. Why? LiPo batteries have demonstrated in the past to have problems in low temperatures, so they tend to discharge suddenly and not follow the normal cycle. So when you are up in the air, this can be very dangerous because your battery can drop all of a sudden and you don't have the time to react. So it's strongly suggested to use this cover to keep the battery warm and to keep the voltage proper for the flight and to fly safely. Okay, so this fits in the box a bit difficultly, so bear with me 1 second. So we have now the real core components of our Inspire 1 V2. So first of all, the propellers. Okay, very important. These are big propellers. There are 2 boxes of them. So one, I guess you can see here, is open because I've used them. The other is a spare one, and it's very useful because it's the first thing that breaks if the drone has a problem or touches something. So the propellers I want to show you are not all the same. So how you can differentiate them is looking at these small arrows or labels here, which are white and red. And when you install them, you have to install them in the correct motor of the drone, which has the same arrows, white and red. The DJI INSPIRE 1 V2 has a better system to lock the propeller respect to the first one. So it's quite easy, it's quite quick. It's important that you respect the signs and then you put the propellers in the right place, because otherwise the drone will not take off or will fly not normally. Okay, because the propellers are not all the same. One of the most important things is of course the remote control. Okay, this is a very nice very nice component of our DJI INSPIRE 1. For who had a Phantom 3, this is not that different. It looks a bit more fancy because there is a metal cover here, maybe a few more connectors, but it's pretty much looking the same. So these are the two antennas. This is the support for rather an iPad or a tablet like a Samsung Galaxy Tab or whatever, so an Android or an iOS tablet or a smartphone. So the support is quite adaptable. You can extend it all to put a big tablet in it. You can let's just contract it to then support an iPhone, for example. This is an iPhone 6 Plus. I can put it into it and then secure it very safely. It's very stable, doesn't move anywhere. And then with a cable I connect with the cable that I showed before, the Apple one is not included in the package. I can connect it to the USB port into the remote control, and it works fine with the app. There is practically no lag. It's very easy to transport as well. You close it. Sorry, one thing to note, there is a port here, there is a data port that DJI is still not using, or at least they didn't announce how they want to use it, but it makes us hopeful of future improvements. There are one USB and one micro USB port, and there is also a direct HDMI connector, which is very useful because you can connect your control to a TV directly, or even you could use some goggles to see in FPV what the drone is seeing, what the camera is seeing, and this would improve your FPV flight experience. So you can use the Shark ones or whatever model as an HDMI cable to connect. Now we'll just put the remote control in this package. In his place in the case. It's a bit tight, to be honest, especially the antenna part, but it's still okay. And now probably the part of the video that everyone was waiting for, and is the drone itself. Okay, this is a very nice piece of technology. So as you can see, now it's in the travel position, which is an horizontal position. So in practice, the carbon fiber wings are horizontal and at the same level of the center of mass of the drone. Then the drone can have other two positions. Can have the landing position, in which these two arms comes down to allow the landing gear to touch the ground and protecting the camera from touching the ground. Or when you fly, it will assume the fly position, in which these arms will go up and will allow the camera to be able to rotate 360 degrees without seeing the landing gears, which is very nice, and is something that we definitely don't see in the Phantom, in which you see sometimes rather the propellers or the landing gear. As I said, this is the V2 of the drone. What's different from the V1? It's really worth to upgrade. So honestly, if you have a V1, I'm not sure it is. The differences are some couple of substantial ones, but not probably enough to justify an upgrade from the previous version. But of course, if you don't have the drone, you may want to buy this for mainly three reasons. So reason one, this is the support for the camera gimbal, and it's different from the V1, and it's made for looking at a potential expansion. So you can mount other cameras, and probably the X5 or different producers' cameras. You will be able to mount them on this one because it's more adaptable, it's more flexible and bigger, while the old one was just made for the X3 camera. The second point important are the motors are slightly more powerful and reviewed respect to the one of the V1. This, based on what DJI is saying, shouldn't affect the battery consumption. So the battery duration will be the same of the V1, but with more power. And the other point is this locking system for the propellers. So once the V1 probably has received the upgrade, so there was a temporary solution to avoid the old system in which you had to screw in and tied manually the propeller, which have caused some accidents. There are videos or comments of people that lose a propeller or more during the flight, and of course this means crash. Okay, so instead the system is very easy, it's very reliable, and is embedded in the V2 of the drone. Apart from that, nothing substantial to talk about. Of course, probably DJI has solved some minor issues, but these are the three main things that have to be noticed. So the drone so as you see, the drone has the V1, the two sonars and the optical systems. These are the antennas and the landing gear. I say that these are the antennas because it's important to leave these gears free. So I've seen videos in internet of people putting plastic to land the drone in the water. Don't do that. There are some other friends and colleagues in other videos that are suggesting you to don't do that, and I confirm it's not a good practice. You want to leave the antennas free. So this is the place in which the battery is placed, and this is the main LED of the drone, which will tell you, based on the color, what's the status of it. Green lights on the back, red lights on the front as per typical DJI standard. Tap to protect the gimbal, and then our drone fits perfectly in this case and it's ready to be transported. Only thing that is remain now is to close the case, which, as I said, sometimes is a bit odd in terms of zip. Okay. The stickers, by the way, are my stickers, are not part of the package. And now the only thing that remains is to go wherever we want and fly this fantastic machine. Thank you for watching us. I hope you enjoyed the video. If yes, please thumbs up and subscribe to watch more. These are our first publications, so we are making experience, but we are really enjoying it. We are passionate about technology, passionate about travels experience, and we are curious about many things. So please keep watching us and see you soon.